What's up? Welcome back to my channel. I am Diana, creator of Money Boss Mama, and in this video I am going to be giving you ladies 3 financial goals I believe that you should be working on come the new year, especially if you are low income. I know the last couple of years have been crazy. Some of you may have lost income. Some of you are just happy to have a job. I'm just happy to have a job. And so I wanted to create goals that were not based around you having to increase your income. You actually can keep the same income with these goals, or even if you don't have any income right now, these goals can still work for you. And so if you are looking for goals to commit to for the new year, then keep watching. All right, so goal number 1 is to develop an I deserve this mentality. I feel like when it comes to financially progressing, most of us are our own roadblocks. We have these goals that we want to set, but we're too afraid to say out loud. We have these things that we want to possess, even if we don't want to admit that we want these things. We have certain levels we want to reach, but at the same time, we tell ourselves that we can't have these things. We tell ourselves that we can't do these things because of XYZ. And I feel like it all boils down to you just not truly believing that you are worthy and capable of attaining these things. And unfortunately, I talk to a lot of women who just kind of throw their hands up in regards to their current financial state. And that is an I deserve this, or this is as good as it's going to get mentality. And when you go through life with this type of mindset, you are correct. This is as good as it's going to get because you're not looking for opportunities to elevate yourself financially. Whatever belief we have, how we view this world, we are going to purposely see things that reaffirm our beliefs. So if your belief is, this is as good as it's going to get, I can't do this, I don't have enough money, then that's all you're going to see. You're not going to seek out opportunities because you're not going to allow yourself to see those things. And yes, I am aware that there are certain factors that come into play when it comes to someone's level of ease in regards to financially progressing, such as equal access to resources, educational factors, systemic racism, unequal pay. All of these things are very, very real. But I feel like we all get to decide how we deal with these things. Whether consciously or unconsciously, we are all making a choice, and these things are not in our control. They're completely out of our control. But what is in our control is how we decide to deal with these things, what we choose to do when it comes to these factors. And I feel like there are only really 2 choices. You can sit down, cry, whimper, and surrender to these things, or you can get up and fight back. And no, you may not ever get to millionaire status. That's totally fine. But whenever you decide that despite your current financial state and circumstances, you're still going to get up and progress or try to progress financially because you know that you deserve better, you're going to put yourself in a better position. Goal number 2 is to ditch one spending trigger. And your spending triggers are what set off your spending routines, and your spending routines are what go on to create your spending habits. Habits are just things that we have done over and over again, so much so that they've become ingrained in our brains and we no longer have to consciously try to do them, like riding a bike or driving a car. And your spending triggers could be literally anything. It could be being stuck in traffic, your partner, your job. It could be a memory or a specific sound. The list literally goes on, and you're most often going to find that you have multiple spending triggers. But just to keep yourself from getting super overwhelmed, I just recommend on focusing on one so that you can take it one step at a time. And to begin to uncover your spending triggers, especially if you don't really know what they are, I always 100% recommend journaling. When you journal, you find like your true self. You're uncovering yourself in your purest, rawest form. And in order to financially progress, you have to know yourself. You have to know your likes and your dislikes, what sets you off. You have to know your values. And when you're journaling, you're uncovering those things about you, because money management, we always hear, is 80% behavior. So you have to actually know what your behavior is so you know what to adjust. Some journaling prompts I recommend is first going through your childhood and adolescence and writing through your earliest memories of money, and you'll often find your limiting beliefs and certain money habits that you have that have stemmed from childhood and adolescence. And if you have buyer's remorse, write about that. If you are anxiously wanting to purchase something, write through those anxious emotions. What thoughts are you having? You know, what led you to this point? And you'll begin to start picking up on thought patterns that create a specific type of action for you. The more you become aware of yourself, the more power and authority you gain to begin to shift those beliefs and those actions to those that are actually supportive of your goals. Hey, oh my gosh, what if it was not loud enough? Crap. We'll have to see. Goal number 3 is to create a financial overview. Get organized. And no, I'm not going to bring up the B word. I am not even going to talk about a budget in this video. You can do this without actually having a working budget. So I always recommend opening up a Word document, one that is cloud-based, just in case your computer crashes, you'll still have everything. So use like Google Drive. Google Drive is free. And then dump out all of your expenses that you have, your bank accounts, your savings, as well as all of your debts. And this way you'll have a complete overview of everything. And whenever you are doing your expenses, you want to be sure to list what the actual expense is, the payment amount, the payment frequency, as well as the due date. Whenever you are listing out all of your debts, and you want to list out every single individual debt, don't combine them together. You want to put the lender or who you owe, your interest rate or your APR. And really quickly, your APR is just your annual percentage rate. It's basically just your percentage rate calculated on an annual basis. And you want to put the minimum payment down for your debt. And whenever you're doing your savings, obviously what your savings is for, as well as your savings balances. And then if you are using multiple accounts, write what financial institution each account belongs to, as well as what expenses are to be in this account. Now, if you're fancy, you can create one spreadsheet with these things across multiple tabs. So you'll have a tab for debt balances, a tab for expenses, a tab for accounts, as well as a tab for all of your savings balances. And this part is going to take the most time. It's going to take a little bit of time. You're going to have to dedicate some time to get everything listed out. But when you have everything listed out and you can see everything all in one place, I promise you, you're going to feel a lot less overwhelmed and out of the loop. Awareness is key when it comes to financially progressing, because you want to know what's going on. And when you know what's going on, it helps you to determine what direction you want to make. So with everything listed out, it's going to be easier to set goals and determine what makes the most sense for you. All right, ladies, that wraps up this video on 3 financial goals that you should start working on if you're low income, that don't include you having to make more money. If you have any other goals you're working on for the new year, list them down below. Be sure to give this a thumbs up and share with someone who needs this information. And I am out of breath, so I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.